Hello everyone. Today we are in a meeting with one of our renowned experts, Mr. Ali Johari, in the training on 17011, the new version in Taiwan. And this recording is for the e-learning session that we have for our training. So, good morning, Mr. Ali.
Good morning.
Everything's fine?
Yes, everything is.
So, we'd like to have some questions because our members, they're asking about the new 17011. And we'd like to know why do we need the new 17011? We have been working since 2004 with the 17011, everything is fine. Is it true, or why do we need the new version of 17011?
Well, as you said, we have been working with ISO 17011 since 2004, which means it's about 13 years now. And we have a lot of experience with working with 17011. And we have issues with 17011 which perhaps needed resolving. We have also advanced in terms of technology, in terms of doing remote assessments, in terms of granting flexible scopes, in terms of our understanding of impartiality, in terms of the accreditation process being more robust, in terms of giving more risk-based approach to the accreditation bodies rather than being prescriptive. So all these led to the revision of 17011. As you know, a substantial number of ISO members were not in favor of the revision to begin with, but still it was decided to go ahead with the revision in 2014.
So there was a consensus in the end to have this standard, despite there are some differences in the working group.
Yes, I think, no, once the working group was there, its mandate was to revise, so they went ahead and there was general consensus that any requirement that there may be a comment on, we should relook at that requirement.
So as accreditation bodies, do we expect to have a lot of changes? Do we have a lot of work to come in the future? So is this 17011 really a lot different from the old one? Is it like a change in the terminology, or is it a change on the way accreditation is being done?
I think it would involve some work for the accreditation bodies. To me, one major change in this standard is that it is much less prescriptive and leaves many things to the ABs. For example, something like assessment of key locations, which was there in the 2004 version, is no longer there. So now it's up to us as ABs to decide on a risk-based approach and decide on which offices to assess or which offices not to assess. Similarly, the concept of flexible scopes, which largely comes from laboratories. But I guess it might have applications in inspection certainly, and even in certification. And we as accreditation bodies who are mainly engaged, PAC members are into certification bodies, would have to start thinking how this concept can be applied to certification. Certainly our customers would start demanding that you use this provision now and allow them the flexibility of scopes. So there are provisions here in terms of impartiality also. I think our understanding is far better now than it was in 2004. And especially I remember in the working group, the question of PT services came. Many ABs are providing PT services and are the only competent ones in their economy to provide PT services. So there was a huge debate, but finally we decided that if we leave a window open for anybody to carry out an activity which is under accreditation, then that window goes all the way to several other activities. So ultimately we shut that door. Of course, the standard still has a provision which was there earlier also about that linked bodies. So frankly, if an AB is engaged in an activity which today becomes not proper within an AB, it has the option of moving it out into another legal entity and still being able to demonstrate compliance to 17011. Yes, so they can still serve the economy by moving that out into a separate legal entity, satisfying the requirements of linked body and going ahead with it.
Good. So, but now as a region, we are in PAC and APLAC, we have a lot of members. We are the biggest region for accreditation of the world. So there's a lot of members who need transition. So how can we help our members? Do we have plans to help our members, especially developing economies ones, to go through this transition smoothly and also to expand their activities with this new 17011? Do we have plans for this in PAC and APLAC?
Oh, yes, of course. The members do need some help in terms of understanding the revised standard and the changes that have been made. And And there are plans indeed. We have this transition period of 3 years, and both APLAC and PAC have planned trainings for both the accreditation body members as well as the peer evaluators.
Yes.
So we have, for example, this training in Taiwan, which is meant for accreditation body members. We have one coming up in India in February, which would be for peer evaluators, and we have one planned in Dubai.
Yes.
And similarly, I understand APLAC has already done training in Hong Kong and in the Americas. So there is already training on, and of course we have had the support from PTB for developing members, so they are being funded and they are attending these trainings. In addition, we were lucky as a region that even ISO conducted a training in Malaysia in August, and some of our staff have attended that training. So I think there's enough being done. To my mind, by March next year, we should be through with all the training that is needed, essential training that is needed. And by that time, this e-learning should be on. So anybody who wants training should go through this e-learning course, I guess.
Yeah. Very good. So finally, what is your advice for us as staff of accreditation bodies with this transition in 1311? So as I understand from what you said, you should not worry. You should only have some plans and make this transition. But do you have some advices for us to go through this in the right way and to make it a smooth transition?
I think the transition should not be a problem. We have got 3 years, which is long enough period for us to transit. Only those ABs would have to worry slightly, which were doing, for example, PT, and how they manage that part, and how they take it out of their activities, or any other activity they might have been doing. Otherwise, even in the previous version of the standard, certain activities were not allowed. If you read with the 7001, only the IFI like A5. So I don't think much has changed in that sense. The new standard recognizes the newer activities like PT, like RMP, like validation and verification, which did not figure in the old standard. At some places, I think ABs have to think more. I think in terms of risk-based thinking, in terms of offices to assess before grant and after grant, in terms of flexible scopes. So there will be more pressure on ABs to think and devise their systems, even in terms of remote assessment, than there was in the previous standards. But I don't think anything is so difficult as to pose any problem. In a 3-year transition, we should be having an easy time, I guess.
Very good. This is good news, so should not worry, right?
Should not worry.
Thank you. Yeah. So thank you for this interview, and thank you for all the efforts you give for our accreditation bodies members in PAC and APLAC. And we look forward to the next videos and the rest of this training.
Thank you for having me here. And I think as a region, we are lucky that not only I, but there are a number of others who are members of WG42, and they are available at hand for our economies and our member ABs to be able to talk to them or write to them and get clarifications or get advice.
So keep with us, and we'll have more than this. Thank you.
Thank you.